What is going on, people? We are back once again, Nick J. Francis channel, and we are running a little bit late, but it is what it is, isn't it? Wolves and Arsenal have already kicked off. Ethan Wandieri already driving through the team, trying to create something, and what a dream it is to have him back. Let's go through the teams real quick. Trossard has got a little whack in the face that he's not happy about. Arsenal team sets up like this: no Odegaard, no Marino. It's a bit of a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. More injuries and sickness and all the rest of it. David Raya in goal. Lewis Skelly, Gabriel Williams, Saliba, Jurriën Timber at the back, Partey, Wandieri and Rice in the midfield, which I do quite like that midfield. Difficult game to throw Wandieri into, but it is what it is right now. Gabriel Martinelli, Trossard, and Kai Havertz up top. Bit of a worrying time. Yeah, this is the ground that we go to. We regularly struggle to deal with Wolves at Molineux. I think a couple of years ago we got a 2-0 win there. I was actually there at Molineux, been to the ground, and it is one of those really difficult places to go. That being said, we have enough. You know, they've got Cunha. There's been a lot of talk about Arsenal linked to Cunha. We have enough. Wagwan Amad Diallo in the chat. What are you saying, bro? We have enough in this team to go and get the win. They've got Sarabia, Cunha, Larson. They're set up pretty defensively, to be fair. Wolves. They're very difficult to break down. Rice now trying to get onto a ball. He's got a little touch on it. Martinelli almost got a clean strike on it. Jurriën Timber's up high, offering some support. And I don't know if that's fine. Maybe that is a Wolves throw. More injuries for Arsenal. And I've got to say, controversially, from my perspective, I actually don't think that the run that we're on is as bad as people are making out. Second in the league, second in the third in the Champions League, with a really difficult injury-stricken squad. I think it could be a hell of a lot worse, if I'm honest with you. Do you know what I'm saying? I really, really think it could be a lot worse. That's just my opinion. I don't think that we're out of the title race. Obviously, statistically, you know, it looks like Liverpool are going to run away with it, but we have to play for everything right towards the end. It looks like it could be Mo Salah's last year. It looks like it could be Trent's last year. You know, who knows? Any type of slip up that they have, and we should be there, able to capitalize. And we've done it once already. You know, there's already been one game week when Wandieri just losing out there, Declan Rice coming back and covering. But there's already been one game week where Liverpool have dropped points and we've been able to capitalise. We only need to do that 2, maybe 3 more times, and suddenly we are right back in the title race and right on top of them. So I do think that we're in it. We've got a lot of football left to play. I think this is game week 22. Let me double check. I think this is game week 22. It is, yeah. Game week 22 for us. Obviously, Liverpool playing Ipswich at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on that game as well. Brighton play at Everton, Southampton hosting Newcastle, and Bournemouth against Nottingham Forest, all being played right now. Nottingham Forest, obviously, a team that you know, Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth would be an interesting game. Nottingham Forest are one of the form teams in the league as well. Definitely one of the overachievers. Who is that that's just barged to the ground? Mateus Cunha already getting penalised by the ref, and he's not happy. Just getting a little bit over physical. The Cunha situation is weird. The Cunha situation is very, very strange. I'm so tired of Cunha hype as a good player, but fans overrate every good player. It's true. Do you know what it is as well? Fans just overrate like goals. I know goals are important, but people do overrate goals. And when they see someone on like a good, we need to be able to distinguish between a good run of form and a good player. There was a time under Duncan Ferguson at Everton when Dominic Calvert-Lewin was doing really well, when he was getting goal after goal. Duncan Ferguson, if for those of you that are younger, Amaz, you might not know, but back in the day, 20, 30 years ago, Duncan Ferguson was like a big, strong target man striker, a bit like a Chris Wood today. And when he was coaching Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he turned Calvert-Lewin for one season into a bit of a beast. I think he got like 15, 18 goals, putting balls in the box, really dominant in the air, he's getting a lot of goals. And people said, let's get Calvert-Lewin to Arsenal. And I was like, bro, he's not the kind of player that we need. Like, he's not our style of play. Martinelli just loses out there. This is Michael Oliver, who is the referee that gave Martinelli the back-to-back yellow cards. But whenever there's a striker that's in a good run of form, they say he should get a move to a big club. Cunha's not even really an out-and-out striker. He's a second striker. He plays just behind the striker. I'm not sure he's the right profile of player. I think he could be good, but like I say, it remains to be seen how long he's going to keep this run going for. Liverpool has an easy game. Yeah, Liverpool got Ipswich. which at Ipswich it can be difficult, but they're playing at Anfield as well. So you probably expect Liverpool to go and win this game quite comfortably. 6 points ahead with a game in hand. They're in a good place. Hopefully they can drop some points and we can pick up some points here. Wolves just pressing really aggressively. William Saliba's back in the team, which is really positive. Obviously, Saka still out. Ben White out for most of the season. Saka out most of the season. Jesus now out pretty much for the entire season. So it's a difficult spell for Arsenal. I really do feel like we've actually dealt with this quite well. I think that the 2-2 against Aston Villa was really bad. But the rest of it, I think that we've kind of taken in our stride, to be honest with you. There was just a period we had 3 back-to-back or 2 back-to-back losses, and that was really difficult. But January and February are probably the most difficult months, other than if we're in a title race, obviously, to try and clutch the title. But just in terms of fixture congestion, December, Jan, Feb, they're the real hard yards in the Premier League season. So I do think that coming out of this and still being competitive is a really good result for us. William Saliba's missed the ball there. There's a long ball that's gone up to Larson. William Saliba swiped at it and missed it. Gabriel's captain today, which is really great to see. Lots of people feel like him and Declan Rice have that, that captain's leadership ability. Good strength from Partey. I thought that was good strength from Partey, but Cunha's gone down. He's got a free kick in quite a dangerous area. Wrong transfer for Arsenal. You don't need Cunha, just one good striker. I don't understand this money situation as well with Arsenal, saying we can't go and get a striker like Isak because he's going to be too expensive. We're not a team. We spend money. We do spend money. I'm not going to say we don't, but we don't spend crazy amounts of money versus what we generate. So maybe I'm just not understanding the business side of football very much, but I don't understand why we wouldn't be able to go and get someone like an Isak, especially if we structure the payments in a certain type of way. The free kick comes in. I think that was from Pablo Sarabia, and I think that was Aït-Nouri who was the closest to it and nearly got his head on it. It was Pablo Sarabia, ex-PSG Pablo Sarabia, getting the free kick in. And yeah, Aït-Nouri was the closest to it. He got the wrong side of Jurriën Timber, or Partey, I think that might have been. A lot of heat on Partey as well for that goal against Aston Villa, which I totally understand. He's not a natural right back, but he didn't follow his man. He didn't follow his man there either. That defensive side of his game is not the best from when he's actually in a back four. As a DM, he's not terrible, but when he's playing in a back four, it's really not his game. We're still going long to Havertz and wanting Havertz pressing the goalkeeper. Keeper's made a mistake here. He's just got that out of his feet. Jose Sarr. Again, remember there was a time, like we're saying about players that were on good run of form. Remember that last season before last, or last season, Jose Sarr came into the league. That's a great ball from Declan Rice. No one's latched onto it. That was a really good ball from Declan Rice. Really positive. And Jose Sarr came into the league, and everyone is saying he's going to be the next one. Arsenal should go get him and all this kind of stuff. And Jose Sarr's a very good goalkeeper. Don't get me wrong, but he's got a mistake in him. You can kind of rattle him. He's liable to make mistakes. But he's one of those modern goalkeepers where he's a good goalkeeper, but he can distribute the ball well as well. And Declan Rice has been really impressing me lately. I'm surprised he's not captain for this game. Trossard, can we find a shot? Can he cut in and get a shot away? He cuts in. There's too many defenders. They're playing 5 at the back. Trossard cuts inside one defender and just runs straight into a second one, which is Nelson Semedo trying to get away. Trossard trying to stay with him, but Nelson Semedo is pretty quick. And he does find a cross to the back post. Oh, wow, it's just over. That was a difficult one to deal with from Pablo Sarabia. That's how quick Wolves can counter-attack. Dangerous counter-attack. Nelson Semedo just breezing away. Where's our left back? Who is our left back? Southampton are already 1-0 up, and Bournemouth already 1-0 up. Southampton 1-0 up at home against Newcastle, and Bournemouth 1-0 up against Nottingham Forest. So they're already going against the run of play that you would expect to see. And Miles Lewis-Skelly's our left back. And Forest conceded. Yeah, I just saw that. Miles Lewis-Skelly's our left back, and he was caught quite high up the pitch there, Miles Lewis-Skelly, because he's quicker than Trossard. I think he could have done a better job defending Semedo, but he was caught out of position And this is the difficulty we're going to have with playing with such a young, inexperienced fullback. But yeah, Newcastle, Liverpool already 1-0 up as well. Liverpool about to start what is probably going to be a 4 or 5-0 thrashing of Ipswich, but their first goal has gone in already. So a bit of a nightmare scenario for Arsenal. Gabriel makes a misplaced pass, but it's cleaned up pretty well. We go back to Gabriel again. Oh, is Liverpool's goal chalked out? I think Liverpool's goal might be chalked out, maybe. I don't know. No, it's not. It's still 1-0. Arsenal just struggling to get the passing going right now. Like, the passing is just not very clean. Ball to the back post. It looks like they're going to look for that cross to the back post regularly. That time it was cut out. Can Havertz find Martinelli? He couldn't. He tried to nutmeg the defender, and I understand why he did it. He wants to get onto his favoured left foot. But I think if he punches that ball down the line, Martinelli's got the pace to just go and get on it. We need to be, we just need to be very progressive in this game. And we need to be progressive quicker. We play progressive football at times, but we just do it very, very slowly. Semedo was cooking this season. So yeah, Semedo's been good. Semedo's been a good fullback for a long time. He's played football at a high level. International player. Again, Trossard trying to punch that ball through a driven pass into Havertz. And I'm not sure about that pass because Havertz doesn't really have the technical ability to control that ball. Maybe that's Declan Rice, actually. And they play with, there's so many defensive players. They're set up to be defensively solid and then hit you on the counter. That kind of pass is going to be really difficult to get through. Lewis Skelly goes to Trossard. Trossard finds Partey. Can we find a cross? Partey just goes to Timber. Great little turn from Timber. We need to get the ball in the box. That's a great pass from Lewis Skelly. And I feel like Declan Rice should have got a shot away. That was poor from Rice. That was poor. He didn't really quite get it under control. That was good play there. That's a really good pass from Lewis Skelly. Sees the line isn't straight, and Declan Rice just kind of fluffs his lines a little bit. Should have probably got a shot away there. That's what we need to do. Move the ball, make their line break. And once their line is broken, we've got the passing ability with Partey, Rice, even Trossard, and all the rest of it to break that line. Rice's dribbling is so clumsy. Yeah, he's really good at carrying the ball in space, but he's a very, he's a very big, driven ball carrier. He's not someone that can carry the ball in tight spaces like I don't know, a Saka or a Trossard can. Himanshu, what are you saying, my bro? What are you saying? Is Liverpool winning this league easy? What's going on? Only 15 minutes in, 3 goals already. Liverpool 1-0 up against Ipswich at home. Southampton 1-0 up against Newcastle at home. Bournemouth 1-0 up against Nottingham Forest at home. We've got Chelsea versus Man City later. I know Himanshu's going to be watching that game. And still 0-0 Everton versus Brighton. And as it stands, Liverpool would go 8 points clear with a game in hand. Arsenal need to be able to go and find themselves some goals against this very defensive structured Wolverhampton Wanderers team. Semedo makes a foul on Trossard and Arsenal get a free kick. Yeah, Paul might have it in the bag. I can't lie. Yeah. We just got to stay with them, though. We've got to stay with them. 8 points. If we can win this game, we keep it at 5 points. Is it 8 or 9? 8. If we win this game, we can keep it at 5. We need to go and get ourselves some goals. 8 points, I think, it would be insurmountable. 8. Once it gets to double figures, I think it's over. But I think we could 5 points. I really do feel like we keep it at 5 points, we can make that up. And really, it's so frustrating. We've gone for a little short free kick. Ball played in behind for Lewis Skelly, trying to find a cross. Does dig out a cross, but it's not the best cross. The Wolves defenders don't deal with it the best, but they've got it away now. Good touch by David Raya. Touch with midfielder. You can hope Pool crumble in March like they usually do due to overplaying. Yeah, I think that and the fact that we'll have players coming back all through February and March. We've not been terrible. We've been scraping through some decent results, but at the same time, we have the players out. We have the injuries. That's just the reality of the situation. But going into March, we'll have Ben White coming back. We'll have Saka coming back. I don't think we'll have Jesus coming back. It looks like he's out for the season. But, having those players come back will just be so crucial. And obviously the big talking point on top of all that is, can we go and find ourselves a striker? Great touch from Ethan Nwaneri. Still, for me, just struggling with the physical side of the game. Kai Havertz goes down. No foul for him. Nwaneri just does the technical stuff really, really well. But he's still very much a boy playing on a pitch full of men. So it's just that physical side of the game. Miles Lewis-Skelly has that, actually. He enjoys the physical side of the game a lot more. Trossard now trying to do his defensive job. Cunha runs off of Trossard. That's a great challenge from Declan Rice. Big, big challenge. Cunha likes that. Actually, he kind of appreciates that. Yeah, Gabriel Jesus, real difficult one. Like, Jesus and Saka injuries are just like, shock, fluke injuries that just, can happen at any time. It's just so unfortunate. Ben White's injury was coming for a little time. Big up, Nick. What are you saying, my bro? Miles Lewis-Skelly gets fouled. There's been a lot of fouls in this game already. Very aggressive, physical game at Molineux. Chelsea versus City prediction. Where is it? Where is that game? Is that Man City? Man City 3-2. I could see it being 2-2 and then Man City breaking the deadlock late. I could see that game being quite close and having some goals in it. Ball played in behind. Rice trying to gallop to get there. Rice just sitting with the left back. Left back does really well to get that ball down the line to Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri, by the way, a player that I rate very, very highly. He's a brilliant left back. Aït-Nouri actually would suit Man United really well, in my opinion. Really good, progressive left back. Can play football, get down the line. Can play in a 4, can play in a 5. Can play wing back. I think Aït-Nouri should, and I don't think it'd be very expensive either. I think that'd be a brilliant left back signing for Man United, in my opinion. Chelsea are a weird team. You don't know what you're going to get from them. 100%. I just think they have so many goal scorers in their team. They've got a lot of players that can score goals. Like, they don't really have the maturity to control games, Chelsea. In the way, like, at our best, Arsenal can control games. Man City can control games. Teams like Liverpool and Chelsea are less about controlling games and just purely about scoring goals. Like, they're just set up to score as many goals as possible, which makes their games more exciting. Arsenal and Man City games can both kind of be boring. Even if we win 5-0, we can just control the game and kill the game. Chelsea can't really kill the game off, which kind of makes them more exciting. Good little 1-2 with Nwaneri and Martinelli. Martinelli has to go wide, though, because he hasn't got a right foot. Hasn't got a left foot. Sorry, the ball comes in. Oh, Havertz is just about a foot wide. That's really, really positive from him. And that's come from a good early cross. Trossard has just turned, looked up and put that cross in nice and early. And that's what we need to see. Too much dawdling on the ball. Nwaneri drifting wide. Martinelli going central, popping the ball out to Trossard. Cross comes in. Really good cross. It's just too high for the defender, but the perfect height for Havertz. And Havertz just can't quite guide it. It's not far off, though. It's not far off. He should score that. What the fuck? Listen, if Havertz was going to score those types of goals on a regular basis, there wouldn't be all the talk about Arsenal needing a striker. The reality is we know he's a striker that's a bit sometime-ish, struggling with confidence right now. That's what it is. You're going to have to give Kai Havertz 2, 3, 4 of those chances in order for him to score one. Whereas you look at a player like Isak, you give him one of those chances, he probably scores it. At most, you give him 2 and he scores it. It's very unlikely he's not scoring 3 of those chances. That's the difference between a £60 million player and a £150 million player in this market. That's just what it is. That's why we need a striker. We can create these opportunities. Even without these players in, we can still create these opportunities. William Saliba does well against Larson. Good to see Saliba back. He wasn't playing his best, actually, before that injury. Thomas Partey here with the ball. He just takes so much time to make his decision, Partey. Technically, he's got the ability. Just mentally, he seems like he's slowing down more than anything else. But already, both teams have created some good opportunities to score. Similar to Maguire, he don't know how to direct it. Yeah, I think Maguire is probably you lot's best centre-back. I've said it for about 2 seasons. I really do. As an overall centre-back, I think he's your best centre-back. I know De Ligt's there. It's between Maguire and De Ligt. in my opinion. I think Maguire's a bit disrespected. And the one thing I do really rate about Maguire, which I talk about all the time, is his mentality. Like all the stuff he's been through at Man United, and still to just keep going, and he doesn't really throw toys out of the pram. He did that one little cringy thing where he cupped his ears when he scored for England, which was a bit unnecessary. But other than that, he plays, he's professional, he does his best when he comes on the pitch. Another cross from Trossard, that time too close to Jose Sarr. It's a good idea, though. That we need that just a little bit around about the penalty spot. That cross went into the 6-yard box, and in the 6-yard box, you expect the keeper to be really gathering everything and really dominating it. Maguire is not your worst centre-back. He's not. he's not. It's a narrative, bro. Maguire's made some high-profile mistakes, but he's not actually terrible. He isn't. Obviously, you guys have bought him as a solid centre-back, a solid English centre-back, and you're asking him to do a job like John Stones, and he's not John Stones. So, like, he can't play that type of system. But he's not a terrible centre-back from a defensive perspective. If we're going to say that a striker's main job is scoring goals, good tackle from Partey, by the way. Striker's main job is scoring goals. It's great feat from Nwaneri. Again, Nwaneri caught in between four. I feel bad for him. He's caught in between 4 players. He does a little touch and turn and manoeuvres and gets himself some space to pass the ball to Partey. And then Partey just is not on the same level. He's just not on the same time zone. Poor passing from Wolves. Rice picks up the ball. Trossard, and now Trossard knows he can't outrun. That's a great outside the football. Martinelli, but Martinelli's touch takes the ball away from him. Just it's a difficult one to control. Trossard on that side, I don't know. I don't know if we look to switch Trossard and Martinelli for the pace. Trossard knows he can't outrun Semedo, so he's not even going to try to. Ayanuri just flicks the ball over Timber's head and makes Timber fall on the floor. Disrespect. Ayanuri's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, for missing headers, yeah. But Harry Maguire and Havertz are both like that. If the chance is too easy, they'll miss it. Do you mean they score loads of difficult chances and they'll miss the really easy ones? It's a really weird phenomenon. Very, very strange players, both of them. But there you go. I'm just so impressed with Arsenal's ability to go and create chances, even with this kind of depleted team. We're probably, away from our best starting 11, we're probably 1, 2, 3, 4. We're probably 4 or 5 players away from what we would want our starting 11 to be realistically. That's half the team. that's half your outfield team. Realistically, Ethan Nwaneri does so well, just receives that ball in that half touch. Can Trossard find some space for Rice? Trossard's find the ball. Havertz! Oh, it's a brilliant header. It's a good save. That header was better. He should have scored. But that is a very, very good save. And I tell you what, that has all come from Ethan Nwaneri. Nwaneri dropping deep, receiving the ball, just like Ødegaard would, opens up his body, passes it wide, and we start going straight away. That's really, really brilliant for Nwaneri. I can't believe the boy's, how old is he, 18? Something like that. Is he even younger than that right now? $17. He's still just 17 years old, Ethan Nwaneri. And I think Lewis Skelly's 18 or 19, and this is what we've got to start with in the Premier League. But if we can go and get results with teenagers in the team, unbelievable stuff. The scores on the doors. Newcastle have equalised, by the way. It's 1-1. Southampton, Newcastle. Still 1-0 to Liverpool. Still 1-0 to Bournemouth. It's a great save from Jose Sarr. Martinelli is probably going to have to look to get to the byline. Nope, he finds Nwaneri. That's a good cross towards the back post. And Trossard is out jumped by Semedo. I feel like, other than Semedo putting crosses into the box, I feel like he's just getting dominated by Semedo. Partey looks for a shot, and it's not the banger of the season that he owes us. We know already Partey gets one banger every year, and it wasn't one of those. It was one of the other ones. They're just re-showing that moment when Nwaneri receives the ball, just takes 3 players out of the game. And again, a brilliant early cross. That's what we need to do, Arsenal, is cross the ball nice and early. It's good from Rice as well. Good progressive pass. That's what I mean about Rice's dribbling. When he's got a lot of space in the midfield, he is very, very good. Knows when to carry the ball, when to release the ball. He did everything right there. Trossard getting the early cross. Good strength from Saliba to just muscle Larson off the ball. So another little great. That's a great ball. That should be. Is that a penalty? It's not. The ref hasn't given it, but I don't know if that should be a penalty there. Let me know what you think, Amad Diallo, and you guys in the chat that's watching. That's a penalty. That's a penalty, no? He's just taken out his legs. Should that not be a penalty, honestly? The defender's taken out Martinelli's legs, and there's no ball in that challenge. Martinelli takes the touch, and as he's going, at the very least, that's a free kick. I think it's a penalty because the foul carries on into the box, but when you say too soft, though, just by the rules of the game, it would be a soft penalty. I get that. I do understand. But just by the rules of the game, the defender has taken the attacker down and has made no contact with the ball. Is that not the definition of a penalty? Soft penalty, I understand. It's not a leg break or anything like that. But surely that's still a penalty, though. The defender has literally taken out Martinelli's legs and made him go over. And there was no contact with the ball in that challenge. Can you just take an attacker's legs out in the box? I don't understand how that's not a penalty. Someone talk to me. The only argument I can see for it not being, and Amad Diallo said, that's the definition of a penalty. That is the definition of a penalty. The only argument I can see, if it went to VAR, and it should have gone to VAR, the only argument I can see is that you could say he was never getting the ball. The touch was quite heavy. The ball kind of got away from him, and maybe he wasn't actually favourite to get that ball. But I still think that should go to VAR. Because I'm streaming, I don't have the audio on. Amad Diallo, can you tell me, did VAR check that or not? Because that seemed to be done pretty quick. So I don't even think VAR had a look at that. Kai Havertz with a great touch and turn. Ball goes wide to Trossard. Martinelli's at the back post. Havertz is trying to get himself in the box. Havertz looks really up for it. Not the best cross from Trossard. Even though Havertz has missed a couple of chances, he does look very much confident enough for this game. Did that penalty go to VAR or not? I'm really confused about that. Because I don't think that it did. No VAR. Yeah, that's Amad Diallo, that's poor. You've got to admit, that is poor. VAR needs to take a look. If VAR take a look and then they say, no, it's no penalty because this, that, and the third, fine. But they've got to have a look at that, surely. Ball's played into the attacker's touched and spun away from the defender's taken his legs away. No VAR check. I'm not even calling for a penalty now. I'm just calling for a VAR check on it. That is really, really shocking from the Premier League. But it's what we've come to expect. Inconsistencies all the time. I don't know how that's not gone to VAR. That is really, I mean, that's what VAR is there for. If there's anything you're going to check in this game so far that was going to be VAR worthy, that it would have been that. Trying to see if anyone's talking about this on Twitter, but am I the only one that thinks that should have been a penalty? The defender doesn't touch the ball and puts Martinelli on the ground? Absolutely. One of their players is getting treatment, so Arsenal are just going to... Newcastle have pulled it back 2-1. At least one of those guys got to be Isak. They're both Isak. The first one is a penalty. The second one, open play. They're both Isak in 26 and 30 minutes. And you cannot tell me that we should not be spending 150 million on this player. You know what I mean? You can't tell me that. He-Chan is coming on. Is that Larson that's down getting some treatment? I think it is. And I'll be honest, I hope he's okay. I hope it's nothing serious. But just on a football basis, he hasn't been great. Saliba's been dealing with him quite comfortably. He hasn't looked great. They're just showing that Pablo Sarabia chancer again. I really can't believe that on the commentary that you're watching, Ahmad, did they talk about that penalty at all? Because on my stream, it just looks like they've just moved on. They just moved on from it pretty quick. But that surely has to be a check. Who scored for Justin Kluivert? Scored for Bournemouth, continuing his good run of form. Justin Kluivert's a player I'd look at for Arsenal as well potentially, and it was Szoboszlai that scored for Liverpool. Jan Bednarek scored for Southampton, which probably makes me think it's a set piece, probably. And then 2 goals for Isak. Come on, he's scoring. I agree. I think Chan is stronger on the ball. I think he's quicker. I think Chan is a lot better than Larsson. So that is a dangerous substitution for us. We've got Gabriel and Saliba there, but I do think Chan is a bit better at holding up the ball. It looked a little bit easy for Saliba to deal with Larsson there, to be honest with you. But they've made a sub. We still haven't made a sub. We've got our bench isn't great though. Saying that, we've got Tierney, Kivior, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Raheem Sterling, Calafiori. It's good to see Calafiori back on the bench as well. And that's all we've got. From an attacking perspective, all we've really got is Sterling. That's all we have. We have a lone player to come off the bench from an attacking perspective. That's it, which is obviously not great. Timber's gone down. He looks like he's holding the back of his neck. That should probably be a head injury, but the ref hasn't stopped it. Partey kind of intercepted that ball, but Cunha got it. The pass of Pablo Sarabia didn't read the ball, and Cunha's not happy. That is the part of Cunha that I like, to be honest with you. That is the part of Cunha that I think that actually Arsenal could probably do with. Arsenal as a team, when we're at our best, we've got Jesus up top, Ødegaard in the 10, etc., etc. Like we're playing some good football. We play good football, and we've got some good characters. But I think Cunha would give us some intensity. Someone who's a bit of a bastard. Someone who's a bit rough and a bit aggressive. I think we could do with that in this team at the moment. But Isak going and scoring 2 goals is just, we need a goal. Yeah, Timber's down with a head injury, and the ref didn't stop the game. Let's see this one again. Potentially a foul as well from Ayanuri. Ayanuri just pushes him into the other defender. Agbadu is the other defender. Brand new signing for Wolves. I think they got him this month. And everyone's making signings. Except for Arsenal. This Cunha body language is pissing me off. His ego is through the roof. Yeah. Who's the ref talking to? I think Cunha's ego, if channeled in the right way, could be brilliant. Do you remember Amad Diallo? Do you remember Diego Costa that played for... He actually played for Wolves as well. But do you remember Diego Costa played for Chelsea? Kai Havertz is getting into a bit of a battle with number 4. Is that Max Kilman? He's getting into a bit of a battle with... That's Bueno. Kai Havertz getting into a bit of a physical one with Bueno. Trossard's found Martinelli. Can Martinelli find Trossard? He hasn't got the tech to find that pass. There's a pass in there to be found, but all he can do is run the ball, Martinelli. And Partey, he's brought down by Cunha. I don't know how that's not given as a foul, and it is now. And is Cunha going to get a yellow card? Liverpool 2-0. Someone looks like one of the Wolves players is going to get a card, and the ref is not happy. Oh, it's Gomez. A couple of the Wolves players are just on the edge of yellow cards. Gomez has got one there. Liverpool now winning 2-0. Yeah, Diego Costa Cunha is not the level that Diego Costa is, like, at all. Do you know what I mean? But that type of player, if you could channel that in the right way, Diego Costa made that Chelsea team. He was a very good striker, but he also made Chelsea so difficult to play against. And that for me is what, that for me is what Cunha could bring to Arsenal if he came to us. He's still not the profile of player I'd want, but if we did get him, that's how I'd want to use him. He would wind up opposition players. Cross comes in from Rice, it's a deep cross. William Saliba, and there's a bit of a head injury for one of the Wolves players. They're now calling for a yellow card for Arsenal slowing the game down, but Arsenal didn't slow the game down because their players down with a head injury. They couldn't have restarted the game anyway. 2-0 for Liverpool, and it's Mo Salah in his last season for. Yeah, they're just shouting about Miles Lewis-Skelly getting in the way. And Lewis-Skelly's a bit lucky to get away with not getting a yellow card there, but like I say, they actually couldn't have restarted the game anyway. Mo Salah in his last season for Liverpool. No haters body language was his teammate. Costa was the same. You probably couldn't. It depends on the players. It does. Bruno does it a lot. Saka sometimes does it. Depends on who you are as a player. If you're a star man, maybe you kind of get away with it a little bit more. The pass there from Partey kind of went to nobody, and then Timber and Havertz were both on it. Oh, and there's a foul on the edge of the box for Arsenal. That's the definite yellow card. That is rash. I don't think the ref's going to give a yellow. I think that's Gomez, and I think because it's Gomez, the ref isn't going to give a second yellow. They're all at 6s and 7s. Oh, I don't think it is Gomez. It's somebody else. It's the number 7. He's high. I think that should be a yellow card. I'm not going to lie. That one's Andre. I think he's lucky. If he doesn't get a yellow card there, I think he's lucky to escape with no yellow. That is a fairly dangerous foul. Yeah, the body language thing. Yeah, I mean, look, different players respond differently to different things. There are certain players you can kind of shout at and bark at, and they'll play a little bit better. And sometimes it calls for it. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, you're right on the edge of winning a game and it's a silly pass or the wrong decision. You can get rightfully pissed off. This is going to be interesting. We normally look at Ødegaard to be our free kick taker. I think Rice can take free kicks, but we don't really have any natural free kick takers in the team. Saliba's looking at it. Rice is looking at it. I imagine it's probably going to be Rice. Trossard as well. Trossard is there. I'll be honest, I just want to see a shot on target here. I don't want to see too much. I don't want to see one of those little short free kicks that we like to do where Rice lays it to Trossard and then Trossard. I just want to see a shot on target. I think they're going to go for something creative, and I kind of don't want them to. I just want to see a shot. We've tested the keeper once or twice. I think we should test him again. Wanyeri standing over it. So they are going to go for something creative because I can't imagine Wanyeri. He's going to go direct. He does try to go direct. It doesn't get through the wall. Second shot doesn't get through the wall. Oh, and William Saliba with a dodgy touch, and the Wolves come away. No, don't make a foul on Cunha. Don't make a foul on him. Arsenal's got numbers back really well, to be fair. The numbers got, but the free kick was wasted. I think we should have put Rice or Trossard on that. It would have been legendary if Wanyeri scored, but should just put Rice or Trossard on it and just get a shot on target. Done. Wanyeri, such a good dribbler of the ball. Andre does win that tackle that time, but he's right on the edge. He's diving in some of these challenges. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we're letting a 17-year-old take the free kick. I don't know if he's like a free kick master in the youth team, but if he's not, Rice normally takes free kicks. We've got Trossard, he's pretty good. But to be fair, like I said, we don't have any really natural free kick takers. So, but we should have had something prepared. We should have, they should have known ahead of time who the free kick taker would have been. That's something that that Arteta would have been all over. But there you go. Havertz, can he find a pass? He does. Martinelli. Yeah. Agbadu just nicks a foot in there. We've not been great, but we've not been terrible. We've been building slowly. We've been okay. It's a good little touch from Martinelli. Wanyeri's trying to run through. There's not too many players. Wanyeri tries to pass the ball to Havertz. Andre just flying into another challenge there. The ref needs to look at that. That's 3 or 4 of those challenges that are quite forceful, kind of flying in. Rice, can he find Lewis Skelly maybe? He tries to go on his own. He does find Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly can't find the pass back. And I think this is Arsenal's first corner. Arsenal's first corner now. On Rice's side, Rice has been the better corner taker for us this season. Well, not that, I guess, since Saka's been injured, Rice has been the main corner taker for us. And this is our first Arsenal corner. It's been a great time to score. Just before the half-time whistle, we need a goal. And that Andre, that other centre mid, is just flying into challenges. And I just think the refs, some of them, the studs are a little bit high for me. I'll just keep an eye on it. Not really terrible, but just right on the edge. Right on the edge of what is sort of acceptable. Arsenal all lining up at the back post as they do. Gabriel involved with the goalkeeper. I think Cunha is trying to hold him out. The corner's not a great corner. They can see straight away. It's not beating the first man. And Miles Lewis Skelly is probably going to pick up a yellow card here. Red card. Straight red card for that. A straight red card for a foul that's on the edge of Wolverhampton's box. It's a straight red for Miles Lewis Skelly. How the fuck could we have no VAR for the penalty and then a red card for a foul that's on the edge of Wolverhampton Wanderers' box? When there are 2 defenders that are covering, how is that a red card? That's never a red card. That is insane. Gabriel's got to get a handle on this now because the Arsenal players are very, very unhappy and we're on the edge of getting more cards here. I don't know what's going on in terms of the if it's going to VAR or not. I'm not sure, but down to 10 men just before the half. Does anyone else think that's a red card? I can't see how that's a red card. I think someone else has got a yellow card for the complaints, but I can't see how that's a red card. I really can't. This is insane what I'm seeing. This is absolutely insane. He's tripped him up. I understand. He's tripped him up. It's a yellow card. Amad Diallo, the Wolves are breaking. Or normally you get a red card if it's a cynical foul and it's the last man and you're stopping a clear goal scoring opportunity, yeah? Miles Lewis Skelly's just made the foul on the edge of Wolverhampton Wanderers' box and we've got defenders back covering. It's right on the edge of Wolverhampton Wanderers' box. I said it. I said it earlier in the stream, didn't I? I said, Michael Oliver, this is the same referee that gave Martinelli the double yellow card. This is insane what I'm seeing. Go and look it up on Twitter, Amad Diallo. It's never a red card. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. And we can't win this game with 10. We're not going to be able to break them down with 10 men. 7 minutes of added time as well. When Saliba got his yellow card earlier in the season, we were told that they were looking at, are there defenders that are covering? and what is the speed of these players, and are they, is it a goal scoring opportunity clearly, and all this kind of stuff. That's not it's not a clear goal scoring opportunity on the edge of your own fucking box. The guy's got about 70 yards to get to the Arsenal goal. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's going to take an absolute, like, Olympic effort now to go and get a win. And I understand what Miles Lewis-Skelly's doing. It's a cynical foul, and he brings him down on purpose. That's the immediate yellow card. Simple. We've all seen them given. Little cynical one to stop the counter-attack, yellow card. But there's no attackers forwards. They're all defenders. We've got 2 defenders that are covering. How on earth could that possibly be a red card? That's just insane to me. I can't believe what I've just seen. I actually can't. That's the craziest red card we've got this season. That's the wildest one we've got this whole fucking season. How? There's nobody. I'm looking at Twitter and stuff. Nobody thinks that's a red card. Nobody. How doesn't VAR think that's a clear and obvious error by the ref? But you know what? There was one before. The foul on Martinelli wasn't even checked by VAR. The foul on Martinelli in their box, when he was taken out in their box, wasn't even looked at by VAR. But that one is said no clear and obvious error. He's in his own fucking half. He's in his own box. He's got about 60 or 70 yards he's got to run, and he's got to beat 2 defenders to get to the goal. How is that a red card? It doesn't make any sense. Everybody online is saying that's not a red card. That doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. This is insane. Straight red card is just fucking mad. That's 2 awful decisions. 2 awful decisions. You should have had a penalty, albeit a soft penalty. But then you can't say, well, the penalty shout would have been soft. Then just give a red card for that. And now Wolves look well up for it. How didn't they review it? I don't know. I don't know. Didn't review the penalty and didn't review that either. We're going to need some serious mental strength now to try and stay competitive in this game. Yeah, Wolves of 10. Yeah, Wolves of 10 is it's almost not winnable. It's just ridiculous. Like the competition is like fucking corruption. 3-0 now as well. Cody Gakpo, 3-0 for Liverpool. It feels like corruption. Like, I don't know how else to feel about it. No VAR review on the penalty for Martinelli. Taken down in the box by the defender. No contact on the ball whatsoever. Just leg swiped from underneath him. But then straight red card for a foul that's in their own half on the edge of their own box where they're nowhere near scoring. I can't get my head around it, what I'm seeing. I've been watching football for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this. Martinelli could be away. Can he just drive with the ball, get a shot away? Can he drive with the ball, get a shot away? Havertz, can he get a shot away? Nope. Agbadu gets the shot, gets the tackle in. Half-time whistle now. Boys, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe what I really can't. There's nobody. Like, I'm talking to my friends on WhatsApp, on my laptop. I'm looking at Twitter. There's no one that thinks that that's a red card. Even rival fans, Man United fans. We've got a big rivalry. The Man United fans do not like Arsenal, but they're saying that that's not a red card. Everyone said it's just insane. It's just insane, and this is how, you know, this is how they ruin the game. This is how you ruin a game of football. Right. At half time, Wolves have had 3 shots, none on target. Arsenal have had 5 shots, 1 on target. Same amount of passes, same amount of possession, same pass accuracy. It's all been pretty close. Arsenal have one yellow card and 1 red. They have 1 yellow card. I think they're lucky not to have 2 yellow cards, in my opinion. I think that Andre could be on a yellow card. Gomez on a yellow card already. And they've had a couple of chances to score, but no kind of half chances. That one, Semedo broke down the right wing and got the cross away very high, very difficult for Pablo Sarabia to deal with. And I think we've had a couple of chances as well. Jose Sarr done really well keeping him in the game. But that's just insanely frustrating for Arsenal. It just doesn't make any sense. Liverpool winning 3-0, Everton at halftime winning 1-0 through Ndiaye, and Ndiaye is a great player. He looks the business. Southampton still losing for the 2 goals from Isak against Newcastle and Bournemouth, still winning 1-0. But the big talking point is obviously going to be that red card again on Miles Lewis-Skelly. I mean, there's just no justification for it. And if you're Arteta, I don't really know what you do here. Timber is on a yellow. We have defenders on the bench. Who do you sacrifice? Who comes off? Everyone seems quite essential right now. We need the protection of Partey. We need the legs of Rice. We need the advancement, the progression of Nwaneri. We have a couple of left-back options. We have 4 left-back options on the bench. Kieran Tierney's on the bench. Jakub Kiwior's on the bench. Alexander Zinchenko's on the bench. And Ricardo Calafiori all on the bench. So left-back for Arsenal, not a position that we struggle to fill. But where do you take somebody else from? That right wing position. Well, both those wing positions, really, Semedo and Aït-Nouri. That's where a lot of their attacks are coming from. Obviously, Matheus Cunha as well. Is it impossible? Is it impossible to win this game? Is it still possible to win this game with 10 men away at Molineux? We need to get our heads straightened out and sorted out pretty quickly. We need to make sure that we're not getting rattled, we're not losing our heads. That's got to be the main thing, in my opinion. It's Michael Oliver. It's difficult. Everyone feels like there's a conspiracy against their own club. But it's Michael Oliver. It's the same person who gave the 2 yellow cards to Martinelli previously. And who was that against? That wasn't against Wolves, was it? Who was that against? I think it might have been Brighton or something. Was it Wolves? It was Wolves. It was also against Wolves that I thought so. It was against Wolverhampton. Again. You can't make it up. You cannot make this up. Honestly. Bro, this is the same ref that gave Martinelli 2 yellow cards in the same phase of play, also against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Amazing. Absolutely amazing refereeing from him. But there was no foul given when Martinelli was fouled in the box. He's taking a touch. He's up. He's got his back to Agbadu, I think his name is, and takes a touch, spins away, and gets taken out. No card. I think the only way we're going to get goals, it looks like, is ball to Trossard, cross to Havertz. Done. That red card does result from a poor free kick against Declan Rice. A poor free kick from Declan Rice. Really poor corner kick, sorry. Our first corner kick of the game. It's a poor corner kick. It doesn't beat its first man. Everybody at Arsenal is at the back post. Rice's corner kick is really, really awful. Doesn't beat the first man. Doesn't beat the first post. And straight away, they try to break and then Lewis Skelly makes that foul. It's definitely not a red card. It just isn't. But this is the situation we find ourselves in. We've got to get crosses into the box. And to be fair, Havertz has done well with some of the crosses that we've had into the box. But Martinelli isn't the best at getting crosses into the box off of his right foot. He's better at cutting in and getting crosses into the box. I'm still not sure. I'm still torn as to whether they stay on the wings they're on or whether I switch them. I personally might look at switching them. Do you know what I mean? I still might look at switching them wings, personally, but game's just ruined. I don't even know what to say. The game is just completely ruined. It's not even a competitive. I can't. Again, how do I put something like this on Mikel Arteta? Who do you put the blame on for this? Who do you put the responsibility on for this? Do you say to Arteta, why are you starting a 17-year-old, when a 19-year-old, when you have more experienced options on the bench? Do you say, actually, he's been playing well, so he deserves to start? Do you say it's never a red card, so it's down to the referee? What different could we do? We've put the crosses in. Havertz has actually done reasonably well today, held the ball up, looked quite strong. We put crosses into him. He's challenged the goalkeeper a couple of times. One they put just wide, should probably have done better. One, the goalkeeper made a really good save. What more can you do? But then the referee comes in and he just takes charge of the game and decides, right, well, I'm gonna make my decision about how I want the game to go. Do you know what I mean? And still, still to be in second place, is it's almost a miracle at this point, to be honest with you. If we remain in second place with everything, it just feels like everything is going against us. Absolutely everything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we do now. Arteta is naturally a pragmatic manager. He's not going to go all out and risk things. Michael Oliver, honestly. If we get out of here with a draw, I'll be impressed. Honestly, if we get out of this game with a draw, I'll be impressed, because it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. The same ref and the same game when it was, and it was at Molineux as well. Same as the double yellow for Martinelli. It's just. Coming out ready for the second half. Calafiori is going to come on. I wonder if it's Wanyeri that's going to come off. It is, yeah. Calafiori for Wanyeri. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. We've got the second half coming up. Get crosses into the box. Calafiori as well. I mean, he's quicker. Calafiori's, I guess, the best of both worlds. He's Zinchenko for me is a little bit slow for this game. Tierney for me is not as physical and tactical for this game. Technical. Calafiori maybe the best of both, but yeah. We're off for the second half anyway. Still absolutely fucking fuming about that yellow card. It just doesn't make any sense. And Gomez has just kicked the ball away. And again, no yellow card for kicking the ball away. Gabriel said, "Is there no yellow card for kicking the ball away?" Michael Oliver just said no. Again, we've seen Declan Rice get a yellow card, a second yellow card for kicking the ball away and delaying the restart. Not even for kicking the ball away, for walking across a free kick. And we're not seeing it. We've not seen it again. We've not seen it again. That was in the second or third game of the season. We're now in game 23 of the season, and we haven't seen that rule applied again at all for any of the games that Arsenal have been involved in. Free kick comes in. Headed, it almost looked like the defender slapped it. I'm assuming he didn't slap it, but it almost looked like he did. And Arsenal, it looks like, from the way we're setting up, it looks like Arsenal will go for this. They're not going to sit back. Good feet from Calafiori. Really good feet. Cunha goes in quite hard and quite high on Saliba. The ref and Cunha are arguing, but there's still no yellow card for Matheus Cunha. So you can stand there and argue with the ref. Cunha's still arguing with the ref, and no sign of a yellow card. Interesting. It does feel this game that like Arsenal are being ref differently to Wolves. The rules seem to be different. Martinelli getting down to the byline gets Arsenal a corner. I don't mind that. It's the only problem with Martinelli. He's got no left foot. He's going to have to do everything on his right. Everything. We need a better corner this time. We need a better corner because all of that drama came from a terrible corner. Arsenal players flooding the box. It's still a bad corner. Doesn't beat the first man again. That's 2 corners we fucked up. We don't have a left-footed corner taker. Wanyeri's off, so that's Trossard on his weaker foot. So I give him some. I kind of understand that a little bit, but it's still not really good enough. Declan Rice, ball across the box. Gabriel back post, puts it back across the 6-yard box, but there was nobody there. Very, very unfortunate. Arsenal going for this. I like what I'm seeing from Arsenal to just, go for the win. I like that. Calafiori plays the game much quicker than Jurriën Timber does. Jurriën Timber takes ages to assess the situation. Calafiori just getting the ball, getting the game going as quickly as possible. And I like it. I do like it. We've obviously gone down to 10 men before and played quite pragmatic, and we've learned from that experience or just want a different experience, a different outcome. We said, no, you know what, we want to go for this win. Good feet from Thomas Partey. Calafiori already brought a little slight sense of calm to the team. And Calafiori, he's just in the action, isn't he? Straight away, 6 minutes into the second half, and he's just involved in everything. It's a little push in the back from Pablo Sarabia on Gabriel. Rice is going to take the free kick. Again, Sarabia literally standing on the free kick and not getting a card. Literally standing on the free kick. So the ref has to blow the whistle and tell him to come away. Doesn't get a yellow card. Rice with the cross. Better cross that time. It's just over everybody. Just. Timber feels that he was fouled. Let's see that again. There's no point appealing to the ref. He's not going to fucking give us anything. Timber sort of bundled over by 2 Wolves defenders. They're right on his back, but the ref's just not going to give that. He's never going to. If he didn't give the Martinelli one, he's never going to give that. And VAR is never going to tell the ref that he's wrong. So Rice is free if we can find him. Martinelli does really well and does find him. Rice takes the shot, stings the hands of Jose Sarr, but we get a corner out of it. That's really, really good from Rice. And Rice massively stepping up. Massively. Rice and Gabriel massively stepping up. Good intelligent play from Martinelli. Partey finds him. Partey could have probably played Rice the first time. Martinelli lets the ball run across his body, and Badu just taken out of the game and pops it off to Rice. Really, really intelligent. Because you know what? Martinelli isn't the best. He isn't the most technical, but he knows in that moment what he's good at and what he's not good at, and he knows he needs to get that ball onto his right foot as soon as possible. Arsenal's 3rd or 4th corner now coming up. It needs to be a better delivery. It has to be. It's difficult for him. I understand it's on his weaker foot, but it needs to be a better corner delivery if we stand any chance of getting a goal here. Trossard, the corner's poor, hits the first man again. Really, really awful corners consistently from Arsenal. We could be one up if we could do these corners better. What they're working on and what they've been working on in the training ground, we'll never fucking know because we can't get the corner in. Every corner's hitting the first man. It's fucking unacceptable. Poor touch from Martinelli. Is there no one on the pitch? We might have to look at Calafiori to take a corner. We might have to. We've got no left footers on the pitch. Apart from Kai Havertz and Calafiori, they're the only left-footed players that we've got on the pitch right now. Wolves coming forwards. Calafiori just doing quite well against Semedo. Trossard brought down. That's a foul. And Badu goes over under minimal contact, and the linesman's flagged for a foul. And Timber's just sick. Can't believe it. And neither can I, really. Calafiori does really well with tackle on Semedo. Trossard's got the ball. Havertz, can he find himself in a bit of space? Calafiori doing well. Trossard up against Semedo. He can't beat him for pace. He's just going to try and cut in. Partey, can he find a shot? It's a good little cut. It's good play from Partey. Cross in. It's not the best cross from Trossard. Calafiori wins that ball for Trossard again. Calafiori's done really well since he's come on. Gabriel. Rice. Partey. Calafiori. We've got a lot of players that can crack a shot. Rice can crack a shot. Rice goes for the cross. Jose Sarr punches. Timber letting that ball bounce. One thing that Timber does a lot is lets that ball bounce. And in academies, you're taught just to get that ball, get the first touch on the ball as quickly as possible. Do not let that ball bounce. He always lets that ball bounce before he takes that control. He needs to control it first time. Rice pressing up high. Martinelli pressing up high as well. Not trying to let them get out. They do get out, though. Partey just sits off of the attacker for some strange reason. I'm not sure why. Sarabia tries to find a ball into the middle. Cleared away. Havertz battling for it. Can't quite get it. Is that Doherty coming forwards? It's a good shot. one shot from a speculative shot, and David Raya kind of palmed it and couldn't catch it, and then caught it the second time. Semedo with a cross. Shot comes in, it goes wide though. Going wide, just seen out by Timber. It's a much more open game now. Still kind of in shock, to be honest. I should be over it, but I'm not. You wonder if we play like this from the beginning of the game, if we could go a goal or two up. You know, why do we wait until we're down to 10 men? We almost, you know, it's a mental thing. We almost need something to go against us, something to frustrate us, to get galvanized into it. Good header from Havertz, out jumping, and Badu. .30 minutes left. Arsenal kind of being the more attacking team. Wolves obviously just trying to get on the counter attacks. Corner comes in, cross comes in. Oh, just over by Havertz. Havertz actually playing very well. He's playing very, very. Hasn't got the goal. Needs to do better, but is doing well for, especially for a player in his situation, struggling with his confidence the way he is. Havertz actually having a pretty decent game. Hasn't got the goal. That will be the difference maker. But his decision making, movement, everything else has been pretty good. Semedo standing up against Calafiori. Cross comes in. Rice gets there first. I think that was Saliba that was there. What a save. I think that's Sarabia maybe with a shot. David Raya pulls off a brilliant save. It was Cunha actually who went for the shot. Was that going on target? Saliba's header gets the edge of the box, and just Rice just kind of bumbles through the challenge, and it was going in as well. Cunha digs out a really good shot, and everyone's going to say that's exactly what Arsenal need, is someone that can dig out a shot like that. Cunha just digs out that shot. Corner for Wolves. It's gone to the back post, or it's just gone wide. That was so close. Cunha again. It's Havertz, they got there first. Then Cunha just lashes a shot at it. It just goes wide. And again, you can see what it is that Arsenal like about this player. He's not really the exact type of profile that Arsenal want or need, but he's somebody that's just going to get on the pitch, rough people up, and get shots away. And at the moment, we could do with that. Arsenal had about a 10-minute spell of doing most of the attacking. Now Wolves are having their turn to have a 10-minute spell of doing most of the attacking. And can we counter their counter? They're doing well to exploit the space, as you'd expect them to. Havertz has nicked in and won that ball, though. He's got no one up with him. Releases Martinelli. Can Martinelli get beyond Agbadu? Agbadu gets there with a good challenge again. It's just poor dribbling from Martinelli. Really, really poor. Agbadu's really good. He is, but we're making it very easy for him as well. Like the dribbling's poor. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's done well today, but we've done some stuff that have just played into his hands quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? We haven't really made it difficult for him, to be honest with you. Ioneri trying to find a little pass in behind. And Timber does well off Chan to go and get us a goal kick. Thomas Partey. Good little 1-2 with Timber. I feel like we've played a lot better since the red card. Although Timber lost out there. Saliba does really well to cover Ioneri's run. Saliba does well again. But Rice does really well to find Martinelli. Can he get beyond Agbadu? Agbadu is just too big and too strong for him. He gets the touch past him. He touches the ball past him, but can't actually beat him for strength. I feel like Trossard should have just tried to play that back to the goalkeeper rather than try to hold off Semedo. It worked in the end, but I just feel like you've got to have some self-awareness as a player. And Trossard is not as strong as Nelson Semedo is. Like, do you mean, why even try to do that? Like, honestly, I really don't know why you would even try to do that, but it is what it is. Martinelli is dead food. Yeah, he's just stagnated. He got to a point where he just stopped getting better. He's got pace, but you know he's basically like Adama Traore about the muscles. Basically, he's not great. He can do a bit. He'll give you a couple moments, but he's not going to do too much. Timber's taken a heavy challenge. And now Gomez has seen red. A second yellow for Gomez. Gomez has just seen red. I need to see that one back. The Wolves manager is absolutely seething. The Wolves manager's going ballistic. I need to see that one back. Gomez was already on a yellow. Remember, Lewis Skelly's was a straight red card. This is a second yellow card. And I still feel that Andre, the other centre mid, is lucky not to be on a yellow. Let's see this one. Yeah. I mean, he's made an attempt for the ball. He's very late. His studs are up. 10 men against 10 men. Brother, Himanshu, you just sit here and don't say nothing all day. And then, as soon as the Martinelli slander happens, it's just like you pop up out of nowhere. Like, as soon as man start talking about Martinelli, Himanshu just comes out of nowhere. Honestly, it's mad. Oliver trying to overcompensate for his mistake. Do you not think that was a yellow card? Do you not think that? Because I think that. Bear in mind, I think that the reason I do think it's a yellow is because I think that's for an accumulation of challenges. I don't think that is just for the yellow card. I think that's an accumulation of challenges over a period of time. 70 minutes in, I've been so engrossed. It's definitely a second. Well, if it's a second yellow, then he's not trying to overcompensate for his mistake, is he? Of course he's not. I haven't looked at the other scores. 4-0 Liverpool, for God's sake. 3-1 Newcastle. Bournemouth, 3-0 over Nottingham Forest. I tell you what, Arsenal struggled with Bournemouth. Man United struggled with Bournemouth. And everyone laughed at us. And now everyone is struggling with Bournemouth. And people are slowly starting to realise that Bournemouth are actually just a very good team. Declan Rice, cross into the box. Not the best cross. In fact, it's gone out for a goal kick. Rice has been good in moments, but his crossing ability has not been great. Oh yeah, it's a nasty one. The more when I see it from that angle, that does look like a nasty one. But to be fair, Michael Oliver's struggled to get a hold on this game at all for most of this game. Rice, we need a good corner from you, brother. It's a better corner. Wolves header there first. Calafiori's got to battle for it. He does battle for it, but Jose Sar's going to collect it. 20 minutes left of this game, and it's a straight shootout. Straight shootout now, because both teams could go and win this. You'd have to kind of lean the edge towards Arsenal, and I'm really impressed with how Arsenal played when they were down to 10 and Wolves still had 11. Really impressed with that. You wonder at what point we might see Raheem Sterling come on for Martinelli. That might be a sensible substitution. Martinelli just seems to be struggling to deal with Agbadu. Thomas Partey almost getting caught in possession, and it's just poor from him. He doesn't need to do that. Mateus Cunha, right, he's on the edge of a yellow card as well. Bournemouth on the same points as Chelsea now after that win. Timber saw the run of Rice, but just didn't really back himself. Martinelli gets the cross away. That's a good cross. Calafiori will have a shot. It's 1-0 Calafiori. Yes, what a goal. What a goal. 1-0 Calafiori. Points to the Gunners badge, runs straight over to the bench. That is a brilliant goal. That's a great finish. That is a great finish from Calafiori. We've seen him do it against Manchester City. We know he can go and score goals. He's working his way back into the team. Lots of people were questioning why he's not started. He's still coming back from injury. He's had a couple of injuries since he's come to Arsenal. But what a time. Calafiori just picks his moments to go and score these goals. And this is the first time. That time there, I'll tell you the difference. Martinelli wasn't up against Agbadu. He was up against Aït-Nouri. And because he's up against Aït-Nouri, he has a little bit more confidence. He cuts in on his left foot, which he hasn't done all game, and just gets the shot and gets the crossing. Typical scumbag win. We're going to ignore the word typical. We're going to ignore the word scumbag, and we're just going to see Arsenal win. Because that's all that matters at the end of the day, provided that we can keep a clean sheet here now. Do you know what I mean? You can say it's a scumbag win, but we all were here. You agreed with us. You said it wasn't a red card. It was a very, very unfair red card. And so that's why I wouldn't call it a scumbag win. And even if it is a scumbag win, I don't care. I better a scumbag win than a scumbag loss. So it is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? 1-0 Arsenal. 15, 20 minutes left to go. Still a dangerous team they're up against. I think that we should go for a second goal, but the confidence is there. 1-0 Arsenal. Brilliant goal from Calafiori, by the way. Absolutely brilliant goal from Calafiori. You just needed someone to come up with something a little bit different. Now we need to be sensible. Timber, Partey, Rice, just got to be sensible. Timber just decides to go on a galloping run and try and get through, and he's brought down. Not a terrible run. I like the run. I like what he just did, but we just got to make sure that we just keep ourselves controlled in this game. Pablo Sarabia has also come off. Wolves have made a second change. And it's Bellegarde that's come on. And I'll tell you what, Bellegarde he's a player. Bellegarde is a real player. I watched him play against Arsenal. I think we played Wolves' first game of the season at home, and I went to that game. And he's a player. He's a goal threat, and he's a player. Just a little bit more swag from Arsenal now. And actually, I don't really want to see more swag from Arsenal, to be honest. I want them to do exactly what they were doing before. Rice, great ball out wide to Martinelli. Will he look to get beyond Aït-Nouri again? Will he cut in? He does cut in. He's going to go for the same cross. He cuts it back to Timber. And Timber, I think, should have played the ball back to Martinelli, but he didn't. And I said Aït-Nouri was a good player for Manchester United, but not based on that defending against Martinelli for that goal. Bellegarde, I think, has just lost out. And Martinelli does well against Dagbadu. And there come the hand pumps from Martinelli. You can see what it means. Stop this, Nick. Calafiori is a dead player. He's not a dead player. He's not dead. How can you say he's a dead player? What are you basing that on? How can you say he's a dead player? He's only had 12 appearances in the Premier League. He's only had 12 appearances. Like, you can't say he's a dead player. He's barely played. He come to Arsenal in the summer and he's had 2 or 3 injuries. You can't say he's dead. Come on, that's unfair. That is very unfair. Matthias de Ligt has had double the amount of games that Calafiori's had. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's mad. And even if he is dead, which I don't think he is, he's just scored a goal when we're down to 10 men in a tight game when we need to keep the pressure on Liverpool and we need to keep momentum and we need to keep winning. So if he's going to go and score winning goals, I'm going to support him regardless. And, you know, that's football. Rice up against Bellegarde. I don't know if it's Bellegarde or Bellegarde. I keep going back and forth between the names. Nothing silly now, Arsenal. Nothing silly. Pereira assuming they should have won this, but do you know what's funny? Obviously, we lost. We went in the first 15 minutes of this game of the second half. You wouldn't think that Arsenal were down to 10. We were leading, progressing, being aggressive. We were creating more chances. We looked like the team, if you're watching the game, that had the extra player. After 60 minutes or so, they then started to come a little bit more forwards, and then in that run of them coming forwards, that's when they got the red card themselves. But I think that's poor from them to allow us to kind of do that on their ground when we're down 10 men. You don't rate de Ligt either, bloody hell. You don't rate anyone, do you, Ahmad? You don't bloody rate anyone. That's your problem. No one's up to your standards because you're Man United and you won the treble 25 years ago. Is that what it is? You're one of those guys. coming up towards the 80th minute. Arsenal 1-0 up. It's a tight game. Very, very tight game. Tighter than it should have been. We were doing quite well, actually, before anything changed, before the silly red card. Not really well enough. We're still struggling to score. Typical Arsenal, with injuries and all the rest of it. But we were controlling the game a lot more. And then the game just turned on its head. And we've had to show real character. William Saliba with a dodgy header. It just goes straight up in the air, which is not really what you want to see. Wolves trying to dig out a shot. Aït-Nouri's going to look for a shot or a cross. Good tackle from Gabriel. Really good. Wolves still only 2 shots on target. Arsenal only 3 shots on target. Some of their shots quite speculative as well. Partey, he just sends it long to Havertz. I don't mind that. Rice picks it up, and this is what Rice can do. Gallops through the midfield. Unlucky. Agbadu again. Agbadu has just been a brick wall for them. My hometown letting me down today. Nathan's here. Bloody hell. He was ready to come and banter Arsenal. He turned on this one football app and saw Miles Lewis-Skelly was sent off, and he said, let me go check if Nick's live. I know about these men already. I've been up to your hometown. I was there at Wolves the season before last. I quite like Wolves, I like the Midlands, more than the North. I had this argument with my brethren all the time. If I was going to leave London, I'd move to the West Midlands. My friends think I'm crazy. They'd move to the Northwest. But I don't rate Manchester and them kind of places. Actually, Wolverhampton's a bit sad. Wolverhampton and Walsall's a bit sad. Quick 1-2. Wolves almost in. David Raya's going to take his time with this. But Wolverhampton, I don't mind. I've got some brethren in Walsall. Birmingham, I would live. I love Birmingham. Do you know what I'm saying? Man was like, no, Manchester. We know why they prefer Manchester and Birmingham. I love Birmingham personally. But yeah, man, Wolves have tried to scumbag us in this game, and we just tried to out-scumbag the scumbags. And it's as simple as this. It's not much more technical than that. Do you know what I'm saying? But Wolves are still in this. Wolves are very much still in this. It's 10 versus 10. It's only 1-0. We still got Kai Havertz up top who can lose the ball really foolishly, just like he did there. And here comes Bellegarde coming forwards. And Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri's so good, honestly. Defensively not the best, but as an attacking wing back, he's good. And Bellegarde he's just started falling over for about 15 yards. He was just tripping over the whole way. Wolves making another substitution. They're going for it. Wolves believe they can win this game, and so they should. What happened to Bellegarde there? He just kind of started to stumble. He just stumbled for about 15 yards. Happy to see the clock just run down as much as possible. We've stopped kind of imposing ourselves on the game the way we were sort of 10 minutes ago. And now Wolves is looking to impose themselves and we're trying to get on the counter. But when you've got Kai Havertz up top, counter-attacking and going long is always difficult. Jose Sarr, what a ball that is. What a save from Raya. That was an unbelievable ball. Straight all the way up to Aït-Nouri. Saliba was running with him. Mateus Cunha, Wolves still very much in this. Havertz, can he hold it up? He doesn't have to do anything with it. He does well. He gets it wide to Trossard. That's really good from Kai Havertz. Calafiori's looking to overlap. And there's that Andre player holding up Trossard, or standing him up rather, that I think should have been on the yellow card in the first half. Rice and Timber and Martinelli just moving the ball about on that right-hand side. Martinelli was being stood up by Aït-Nouri. He's the one that, Martinelli cut inside of in order to get the crossover for the goal. I think Rice has been really brilliant today. Really, really good. Calafiori will probably get player of the match if it stays like this because he got the goal. But I do think Rice consistently, even when we look like a team that's struggling for confidence, Rice just lifting that level and setting the level consistently, even in games like this. Even when we win a man down, he was the same. The only bad thing he's done is the corners. The corners haven't been good today. And Badu just held up Martinelli there. Martinelli struggled with Van Badu all game. Partey, he looks to make a little breaking run on Havertz. They're just not on the same page. They're not on the same page. Havertz needs to learn to speak Twee. Cunha goes for another speculative shot straight into the hands of Raya. Nick, do you rate Arsenal will be successful if they appeal the red card, if they can put pressure to stop refereeing our games? No. Michael Oliver is the same referee that gave Martinelli the 2 yellow cards in one phase of play 2 or 3 years ago at Molineux against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Since that happened, that has not happened again in the Premier League at all. Hasn't happened. So, no. It won't get overturned. It won't. Was it also Michael Oliver that gave the red card against David Luiz for when Jimenez's boot hit the knee and he went down back during COVID time? He gave David Luiz a red card for that. No, it won't be appealed. And even if they do appeal, it's not going to be held up. And the PGMOL are just going to they've got Kieran Tierney coming on for Martinelli now. But yeah, the PGMOL is just going to do what they do to try to defend their mates, and that's what it is. It's as simple as that. It's pure corruption. Andre's off, Doherty's off, Aït-Nouri's off, Doyle, Guedes, and Rodrigo Gomez. How many Gomezes do they have? They've got an endless supply of Gomezes. This is crazy. I like Wolves' manager though. He's going for it. He wants to win the game. He's constantly trying to be positive and make positive changes throughout the game. I wonder, does Tierney go left wing and Trossard goes right wing? Is that what we're going to see? Because if Trossard's out on the right, I think he could get himself a goal. Big respect to the likes of Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney and those guys as well. They're on their way out of the club. The manager's basically told Tierney, he doesn't fit his style of football, which is true. Zinchenko, the game sort of moved beyond him, which is true. But they're good professionals. They're not throwing the toys out the pram. They're looking at moves away. But they're continuing to be professional, keep doing what they do. And speaking of professional, that's a very professional touch from Kieran Tierney. He's going to look for a cross to Kai Havertz. He gets the cross to Kai Havertz. What a kick. Are we really letting Kieran Tierney go? Are we actually going to let him go? Because that's 3 games in a row. He's come onto the pitch as a sub in a position that isn't his position. Kieran Tierney's a left back. He's come on the pitch as a left winger, and he's just put unbelievably dangerous crosses into the striker every time. I feel like if we are to get a Shesko or an Isak, they're going to love to play with someone like Kieran Tierney because he's just going to find them brilliant crosses time after time. I can't believe we're letting this guy go. I understand it. The game is, we're playing a different style of football and all the rest of it, but, honestly. It's a great little tackle, a great tackle, and a second great tackle as well from David Raya. Brilliant. Bro, FA think Oliver is #1 ref in England, which is totally true. Yeah, he's their top ref. They love him. How can they justify upholding the red card other than defending their mate? There was no violent conduct, mate. The referees in England are crooked. Not just to Arsenal, just in general. They're crooked towards Arsenal, but they're just crooks in general. There was a referee who done an interview on a podcast and said he's retired now, and he said when he was on VAR, he thought his mate made the wrong decision, but he didn't want to put him up on it because he didn't want him to get in trouble. He said that on a podcast publicly. So the referees in England, it's messed up. It's pure corruption. It's pure corruption. Cunha tries a ball into the box. Arsenal just high-fiving each other now. We've got to stay right on this because there's probably going to be another 6 or 7 minutes added time because this second half has been filled with quite a lot of drama. We've had a red card. We've had a goal. We've had some injuries, some free kicks, all that kind of stuff. The Wolves fans aren't happy. But we're coming into the 90th minute. I think there's probably going to be 6 minutes of added time. And, the referee's just crooked. It's as simple as that. It's whether it's crooked towards us. When I say crooked, I don't mean in favour of one club or against another club. I'm not talking about Arsenal versus somebody else. I'm just talking about generally 5 minutes at a time, by the way. Just generally, they are corrupt. They do not want themselves to ever look bad. They do not want to take any accountability. Good overlapping run from Calafiori. He's just going to link up with Tierney there. He links up with Partey. Partey driving into the box. No one's there with him. Does a little flick. I don't mind that, but this Partey looking for a goal and the rest of the team not really looking for a goal. Gabriel does really well. Tierney and Calafiori high-fiving each other. We've used 4 left-backs in this game, but 5, basically. 4. Calafiori, Timber's played left-back, Tierney's played left-back, Miles Lewis-Skelly. We've used 4 different left-backs and pretty much have 3 left-backs on the pitch right now. Good little ball into Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz just can't quite hold it up. And Chan draws a free kick. And Rice gives away another free kick. We're starting to lose it. The game management. European refs are definitely better than English refs, 100%. 100%. The English refs are babies. Like, they're such babies. I listened to the audio of VAR the other day, and it was awful. Everyone is talking over each other. Everyone is really rushing, flustered, kind of nervous. They were telling the ref, look after yourself, be safe. Be safe. Referees don't get beaten up and attacked. Why are you saying be safe? They're just babies. Could be a dangerous free kick here. I think this is Doyle maybe setting up to take it. I'm not sure. Arsenal just a little bit rash in the defending, and you understand why. 3 or 4 minutes away from getting 3 points. A crucial 3 points with Liverpool smoking. 4-1 actually. Ipswich pulled one back, but still Liverpool pretty much smoking Ipswich. Trossard and Timber just trying to defend. Timber gets pulled down, and the ref gives a free kick. The Wolves players are pissed off about that, and I understand why, because it's a soft free kick. But basically, everybody that goes down is getting a free kick at this point on both teams. Anybody that goes down is getting a free kick. Raya's going to take it, and he's going to send it long. Last couple of minutes to see this out, get 3 points, and just keep as close to Liverpool as possible. The key thing is that we're within 5 or 6 points when we have players coming back from injury. That's key, I think. And Badu just battles his way through past Trossard. He's gone down, no contact. Kai Havertz is in. He's on his own. Only Kieran Tierney's at the back post. He's on his own. He gets a corner, I think. It's good play. It's been poor, though. I wonder if Tierney's going to go and take this corner. The corners from Arsenal have been really, really poor. And if we can go and score ourselves a corner here, that will just put the seal on it. Arsenal, this is their 6th corner now, and they've all been poor. All of them. I don't understand why there's no international refs in the Premier League, because it would expose how bad and how corrupt they are. They're corrupt because they're all English and they look after each other. It's as simple as that. Michael Oliver was flown by the same country that run Man City to go and referee one game and got paid like £40,000 to go and ref one game in the Middle East. It's corruption. It's pure corruption. How is that legal? It would look dodgy if Dana White was getting millions of pounds in donations from the Irish government when Conor McGregor fights for him. Like, that's dodgy, surely. But that's the English referees. That's what they do. Gabriel, can he send it long? He does send it long. Kai Havertz goes down. Not going to get a foul for that one. They're going to look for a cross. Not the best cross. Can Rice send it? Can Rice just get it long? He does get it long. Can Havertz be involved? No, he's still coming back from an offside position. Okay. We're in the 95th minute now. The ref has just blown the whistle, and that's it. It's 1-0 full time, 1-0 Arsenal. And I tell you what, we deserve that. We deserve that win for nothing else other than the red card. For the red card alone, we deserve that win. And there will not be any kind of conversation. There won't be any, in a week or two, this will just have been swept under the rug, because the reality is, one thing that I've learned from doing YouTube is that football is very, very fast paced in terms of the news. When we do a boxing video, the video will slowly climb in views over a period of time, over weeks and months. When you do a football video, it's done. If there's breaking news, it needs to be talked about right now, today, because football moves so fast. That's what it is. And so you have these situations like the dodgy red card against Miles Lewis-Skelly, which everybody can see is not really a red card. And in a week or two, it will be done. And no one will talk about it anymore, and it will be finished. And that's just what it is. There won't be any more conversation. There won't be any apology. It will be completely swept under the rug, and we'll never discuss it again. And that's a young man's career. And that's 3 games that he is going to 3 games he's going to be banned for now. But there you go. Let's look at the table. Full time in the Liverpool game. Liverpool against Ipswich 4-1. It ended 3-1 to Newcastle after Southampton went 1-0 up. Bournemouth absolutely smoked Nottingham Forest. It ended 5-0. So Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth done us a favour, to be fair, because Nottingham Forest just take a little bit of a step behind us. And to be fair, you look at Nottingham Forest in the top 4, Liverpool plus 33 goal difference, Arsenal plus 23 goal difference, Newcastle in 4th plus 14 goal difference, and Nottingham Forest plus 6 goal difference. So that's eaten into that lead quite a bit, and it could come down to goal difference for top 4 towards the end of the season. And Everton and Brighton is still going, but it's probably going to end 1-0. Still Everton 1-0. And Arsenal, the main event today, Arsenal 2 red cards in this game. Miles Lewis-Skelly sent off. Bournemouth 5-0. I know, I said it. It's mad. Miles Lewis-Skelly sent off just before the half. Yao Gomez sent off 70 minutes in. Calafiori comes on just after that and gets himself a goal not straight away, but within his first sort of 5 minutes of being on the pitch, goes and gets himself a brilliant goal. And it was a brilliant goal, by the way. It's coming down from the goals. He takes it on the volley, and it's a nice, it's definitely the main event. It's the main event on this channel. Do you know what I mean? But it's a brilliant finish from Calafiori. The ball's coming down from a height. He puts it right into the side netting. Jose Sarr was very, very good today for Wolves, but just couldn't deal with that one. Do you know what I'm saying? And all we needed was that one goal. So that's what it is today. Michael Oliver should be ashamed of himself. He should hang his head in shame. There's never a red card. I looked on Twitter. Ahmad Diallo and other people in the chat, Man United fans, not Arsenal fans, all in agreement that it's not a red card. It's pure corruption. But this is what we've come to expect from the PGMOL. This is what we've come to expect. But in terms of the league, before I wrap up, listen, we're not far behind. We managed to keep the pressure on a little bit. It's just 6 points. 6 points. We have Saka to come back. We have Ben White to come back. We should have a striker coming in as well. All of these players coming back and being only 6 points behind is a big deal. I think Liverpool play Man City at some point. I think they play Man City in the next few games. We also play Man City next week, to be fair. Liverpool have got PSV, but they're in the Champions League, but they've already qualified. On the 1st of Feb, they've got Bournemouth. Then they play the EFL Cup second leg, where they are currently losing to Tottenham. Then they play the rearranged game against Everton, which will be a tough game. Then Wolves, then Man City, then Newcastle. Liverpool's February is really, really tough. Liverpool's February is going to be really, really challenging, especially in terms of their sort of league campaign. Do you know what I mean? You look at Arsenal, the matches that we've got coming up. We've got Man City next week, which is going to be tough. Then we've got Leicester. Then we've got West Ham. And then the end of our February campaign is against Nottingham Forest. So we have a lot smoother of a February than Liverpool do. And I think, genuinely, if we can come out of February with, within 4 or 5 points of Liverpool and have players coming back into the team in March. Mikel Merino's not there, Erdegaard's not there, Saka's not there, Ben White is not there. Do you have any other centre backs? I feel like we have other centre backs that are injured. Anyway, but yeah, I think that we'll be in a good place. I do really think that we'll be in a good place. Love for the comments, man. Have a good weekend to you as well. Amad Diallo, I hope you have a terrible weekend. And I hope Man United get turned over in their game. I don't even know who you lot are playing. I don't even care who you lot are playing. I hope you lot lose. But listen, thanks for tuning in, boys. It's been emotional every time. Like the video on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Nick J. Francis, we're out. Peace and love every time. You know what it is.